everyone, and welcome to Restore Your Range of Motion with me, Riley. Today, on day one, we are going to be using a chair or balance hold, a band of some type, and also some very light weights, so like 1 to 5 pounds. All right, we're going to get started right away with our warm-up, marching in place for 30 seconds. Here we go. So you can keep it small. Just walking in place, starting to swing your arms a little bit. Stand tall, lifting through your spine. Shoulders back and down. Just a nice, easy march. 10 more seconds here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Feet wider than hip width, hands on hips, slight bend in the knees. We're doing hip circles. Here we go. So just rotating your hips in a nice slow circle. We're going 30 seconds, so we'll go 15 seconds this way, and then we'll switch and go the other direction. Finding your pace, you can go slower or speed it up. And let's switch directions, going the other way. Keeping that nice bend in the knees. Warming up the hip joints. And remembering to breathe. We're almost there. Let's go one more big circle. And back to center, bringing feet back to hip width. Option to hold onto your balance hold. We're going to stand tall, slight bend in the knees, lengthen through the spine, and then very gently drop your chin to your chest, and then very gently roll to one side and other side for neck circles. Staying in the front here. We never want to tip our head backwards. It can just put a bit too much strain on the neck. Finding your breath. Moving slowly, pausing anywhere that needs a bit of an extra stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center and then looking up, nice and slow. And last part of our warm-up here, we're going to do arm circles. So make sure you have lots of space. We're going to inhale, arms up, exhale back. And we'll go 15 seconds in this direction, and then we'll switch and go forwards. So finding as big of circles as you can. So reaching. All right, and we're going to go the other way, forward, reaching, feeling that rotation of your shoulders as your hands come around. And if you need to use a balance option with this, you could just hold on with one hand and do one arm at a time. All right, hands back down by your sides, and then let's find our shoulders back in their spot. So we'll inhale up, exhale back, and then settling them down away from the ears. Now that we're warm, let's move into our workout. Using your balance hold, we're going to bring the weight into the left foot, slight bend in the knee. We're going to do gate openers. So let's inhale, lift the right knee, exhale, open, and then place it down, and then back to center. So it's like we're stepping up and over a little wall. We're doing 5 on this side, 3, 4, finding our balance, 1 more, 5, and back down. Transfer your weight onto your right foot, grab your balance hold. I'm going to have my imaginary balance hold here, and let's inhale, left leg up, exhale, open, down, and back together. Continuing there for 5 reps, 2, Lifting as high as you can manage and then opening as wide as you can. 3, 4. We're going to go one more. 5. Very nice. Weight evenly distributed between the feet. Find your center again, and now we're going to close the gate. So weight in your left foot again. Slight bend in that knee. This time we will start open, so kind of on the toe, knee out, and then let's lift and close that gate down. So open first, and then lift and close. 3 more. What we're doing here is adding mobility to the hip while also increasing some strength. So flexibility without strength is actually more detrimental. All right, that's done with that side. We'll switch to the other side. It's more detrimental than being not flexible at all. So we need to build that strength around the joint as we increase our range of motion. 3, 4, one more, and 5. Great work. Feet back down. You can shake out the legs. All right, let's get the upper body involved. We're doing full body range of motion. Grabbing your band, we're going to do an overhead reach and pull. So feet apart, nice sturdy stance, knees slightly bent. We're going to reach up, hug those shoulder blades down and together. We're going to reach up, and then we're going to pull down just in front of the face, squeezing the shoulder blades together. That's 1. We're going to do 10. 2, pull and squeeze together and down, and then control back up. And 3. And 4. And you can always do this without resistance. So get rid of the band, or even move your hands further apart so there's not really any tension happening. But by adding a little bit of tension, we are increasing strength in the back, which helps the mobility of our shoulders. 7. Strong core. 8. 2 more. 9. 1 more. And 10. Squeeze. And now let's go back up nice and slowly. And release your hold on the band. Great work. You can put it down. We're going to move back into the lower body. So we're going to do supported lunges. All face this way. You've got your balance hold beside you. Right foot forward, left foot back, and there's about a leg length in between the feet. And your feet are also hip width. So they're not stacked in a line, they're hip width. We're going to come up on the back toe, like the ball of the foot. We're going to sit nice and tall through our hips. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, we're going to lower down. Both knees are bending at 90 degrees. We're hinging slightly at the hips so that we're loading our front leg. And then we're going to press mostly through the front foot to bring us back up. So thinking about the back leg as somewhat of a kickstand, and it's the front leg doing the work. Nice and slowly. 2. Strong core. 3. 4. We're halfway there. We're going to do 4 more. 5. So we're opening up the front of that left hip and building strength in the right leg. 6. Moving with control. You don't have to go all the way down. 7. 1 more. And 8. Make sure you come all the way up, and now lean forward, weight into the front foot, and then step together. Beautiful. All right, we'll go with the other side. So left foot forward, right foot back. Again, about a leg length in between them. Feet hip width, ball of the foot. Inhale up, exhale, hinging forward slightly. Both knees bend down, and I'll press up through that left leg. 1. Remembering to breathe. 2. We never want to put too much weight on that back leg. You'll feel it impacting your knee. We want to load the front leg. Maintaining focus, that's 4. That's 5. We're almost there. Keep breathing. 6. 7. You've got one more. And 8. Once again, weight in the front foot. Step those feet together and come back to center. Great work. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to grab our band again and do similar to the overhead reach and pull, but we're going to go out front and pull back. So again, increasing that range of motion in the shoulders by strengthening our back and opening up our chest. So hands straight out in front of you with your band, slight bend in the knees. Let's inhale, reach, exhale, pull back, elbows are shoulder height, squeeze, and then control back out. That's 1. Pull. That's 2. Nice work. Maintain control here. 3. 4. Feel those shoulder blades squeezing together. 5. 6. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. 7. You got this. 3 more. 8. And 9. And last one. You got this. And 10. And then let's release back out. Release your hold on the band. Placing it down. Great work. All right, we're coming back to the lower body again. Supported squats. Again, building strength will help us with our mobility overall. So feet slightly wider than hip width. Toes are pointed out slightly, so they're not completely forward. They're out a little bit. Let's see if we can press into the outsides of the feet. Like if you had a mat under you, you're spreading the mat apart. Holding on to your balance hold. Hinging forward slightly, engage the core, and then we're going to sit back like we're sitting in a chair. And then we're going to stand up, pressing through the glutes. That's 1. And we'll come down. We're going to do 10. I'm going to have hands out, but you can always have hands on the balance hold. 3. Moving with control here. We're trying to strengthen each aspect of the muscle by moving slowly. 5, that's halfway. You got this. Strong core here. 6, pressing through the heels. 7, shoulders relaxed. 8, 9. You've got one more. See if you can get a little bit lower. That's 10. Pressing up. Great work. Take a deep breath. We're going to finish off with the upper body again. So option to grab your weights, or you can do this without weights. So feet a little bit wider than hip width, standing nice and tall, shoulders back. We're going to have the weights out. Shoulder height, shoulder blades squeezing, slight bend in the knees. We're going to turn the right palm to face up and the left palm to kind of go back. And we're going to look towards the right hand and then other way. So that's 1. And 2. 3. Continue here. We're going to do 10. 4. 5, that's halfway. Keep it going. Keep those hands up. 6, 7, keep that little bend in the knees. 8, you might be feeling some tension in the shoulders. Try to release them away from the ears. 9, one more, and 10. Head back to center, lower those weights down, placing them down. And that brings us to the end of our workout. We're going to do a little cool down. We're just going to come back to those hip circles. So feet nice and wide, standing tall. And here we go, 15 seconds in one direction. And then we'll go 15 the other way. Finding your breath. Maybe finding a bit more space now that we're warm. And let's go the other way. Nice big circles. One more. And we're done. Great work. That brings us to the end of day 1, and I will see you tomorrow for day 2.